Слушай, пока настроишь, с ума сойдешь. Короче, через отдельное окно игру она не захватывает. Ну это прям беда. Да, я сейчас только по звуку как-то сделаю так. Ну, я думаю, где-то так нормально будет.
You are Comrade Ivan Ivanovich Privalov. In 1961, you were selected for the Shukovgrad Interonaut Exploration Program SSSR. Despite failing your basic physical and being caught cheating
Хоть ты не
on
сдал
your
нормативы
entrance
по
exams,
физподготовке на
on the
вступительных
morning
экзаменах, все списал.
of the
Утром
12th
12
of
апреля
April
62 года
1962,
ты поднялся на
you
борт.
boarded a rocket trip.
Ёпта. Подожди.
Containing the experimental device Little Orpheus, with the purpose of descending through the Earth's crust to discover the relative hollowness of the interior and its suitability for colonization.
No, you've lost me, General. Did I do what?
You and Little Orpheus were dropped into an extinct volcano to drill to the center of the Earth and find out if we could establish a city there. Note, if you will, that this date is over 3 years ago.
Короче, непонятно, где-то мы разбились. Что происходит, вообще пока ничего не понятно.
Ivan Ivanovich, can you describe Little Orpheus to me?
Of course. It was large and round and had something of a disagreeable smell.
I was referring to its technical specification.
Well, General, I am no man of science, but it this radio thing that I was supposed to use to let the surface know I had arrived, and some sort of battery wrapped in this lead box. But I was told to not touch anything under any circumstances, and I did notice the engineers who worked on it were quite a shifty bunch.
The Little Orpheus device contained a radio
Слушай, ну субтитры, конечно,
transmitter
сверху не
capable
очень
of
приятно
sending
читать.
a signal through miles of solid rock. In order to boost this, a powerful energy source was required. An atomic bomb, comrade Prevalov. An atomic bomb that you have lost somewhere below the Earth's crust.
Ah, yes, that bomb. Of course, General. I can explain everything. But it is a long and somewhat complicated story. And let me assure you, this is not a case of milking chickens. But you won't understand where your bomb
Ah,
and
значит,
Little
это
Orpheus
краса.
has ended up unless I start at the very beginning and you let me tell you where I've been for the last 3 years.
Да, я еще, наверное, чуть потише сделаю.
From the beginning, then. But this had better be good.
Good, General. It's more than good. It's extraordinary. And it began like this.
Это типа показывается, где мы были? Или где мы будем? А может даже где и будем. Эпизод 1, товарищи, к центру.
An extraordinary sight. I realized this must be the fabled land of Plutonia, as documented by the brilliant scholar Obruchev. A trail of destruction carved by the rocket drill led down into the wild and mysterious
Ну, не очень удобно,
jungle.
конечно, сверху читать.
The rocket drill itself must have snapped in half somewhere below Kamchatka, and Little Orpheus bounced out and became lost in that prehistoric forest. If I was ever to get home, my mission was clear: to find Little Orpheus. I steeled myself and plunged deeper into that prehistoric jungle where insects the size of dogs buzzed around.
Dogs. What sort of dogs?
I beg your pardon, General?
Large dogs or small dogs? Big like an ovcharka or small like a barlonka?
Does it really matter?
Of course. Detail is all important.
Ovcharka then, General. The size of an ovcharka.
I find it very hard to believe.
Would you find it easier if they were the size of a balanka?
No. But I am enjoying your attempts to persuade me.
Я так понимаю, мы где-то в каких-то... Нет, подожди, мы попали под землю, но это, скорее всего, что-то доисторическое. Времена-то наши? Хорош, прыгаем. Замечательно. Слушай, а хотя, может, он как-то и во времени переместился?
Another part of the rocket drill. But still no sign of Little Orpheus.
Хорош. О, какой, ты видел, ля?
Between the trees, I could see huge beasts, larger,
Прикольно.
more ancient than any known to our modern times. Could it be that Obrachev was right? And deep
Он в
below
какой-то
the
типа как
Earth's
макромир
surface,
попал.
prehistoric monsters still roam freely.
Yes, yes, but Little Orpheus.
Ля, какой хороший. Красавец.
Terrible lizard intent on making a snack of me was none other than the most awful of the monsters, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, now you are an expert on dinosaurs.
Oh, hardly an expert, General. Just educated by the best schools in the world, like all good socialists. And I remembered one crucial thing.
I'm listening.
Well, its greed is without bottom, its hunger is ferocious, but its brain is absolutely tiny. So, it can roar and roar as much as it likes, but it will never be a match for the sharpened mind of the good Soviet worker. All I needed was a plan to outwit the monster. Imagine my shock and surprise to find in that clearing the last part of the rocket drill. More shocking was the fact it had been ransacked. Someone had made off with the tools, the weapons, the rations, and the spare parts for the Pragviev. I began to suspect foul play. Perhaps Little Orpheus was not lost at all, but stolen. All I could do was follow the trail further into Plutonia.
So we all agree this was the fabled land of Plutonia, do we? I don't remember accepting that.
I will admit it might not have been Plutonia if you are prepared to accept the dinosaur.
This isn't a negotiation, Ivan Ivanovich.
General, you can disagree all you like, but there's very little you can do to persuade me it wasn't a dinosaur.
I might not be able to persuade you, but I can always have you shot.
О, как, мы теперь яйцо. Слушай, ну игрушка пока мне нравится. Прикольно. Это я смеялся? Мой персонаж? Все нормально. Все хорошо. Так и должно быть. Что-то он подозревает. Нет? Нормально.
You hid in an egg.
Yes, General. I hid in an egg.
I am glad to hear your military training was not wasted. If only I had a single legion of men as brave and ingenious as you, with only 100 men equipped with eggs to hide in, we could roll across Europe in a day.
General, are you mocking me?
You are as sharp
Слушай, ну
as
я
your
субтитры
brain,
читать не
Taran.
буду. Мне вообще неудобно. И поднимать глаза наверх, ну это, блин, как-то не то. Тут смотришь на самом экране, а тут надо еще быстро вверх смотреть, что там происходит. О чем идет речь, так что что-то тут не то. Субтитры, конечно, неудобно устроены сверху. Ну, снизу было бы нормально, как всегда. Да это еще, кстати, первый акт идет. А интересно, сколько тут вообще актов? Ой-ой-ой. Мастер разрушения. Просто мастер. Прыгай.
I couldn't believe it. I still struggle to believe it. A whole lost city, buried in that jungle deep below the crust of the earth. Who would have thought it was possible?
Who indeed? It is of course a shame.
А я не
we
увидел
didn't
сначала Лиану, я
record
думал,
the
как
moment
дверь
of
закрылась, как
posterity
попасть.
And help us all to get over our disbelief.
But I did, General, I did. My training was excellent, and I immediately took out my комсомолец and began to document all I could.
Не понял. А, все, предел.
So, where is this camera now, then?
Ah, General, yes. What, of course, I meant to say was my training was excellent, and I immediately reached for my camera, only to realize it must have been torn from my utility belt in the crash and lost forever in that forgotten jungle. Horrendous beast had returned and was hungrier than ever.
Perhaps
Ой,
it was
опять он.
angry it had been fooled by an egg-wearing idiot.
That is unkind, General. It may have been small of brain, but it was grand of stature.
Whereas you, Ivan
Побежали,
Ivanovich, are
побежали.
lacking in both departments.
Что
Truth
происходит?
is, do tell me, what was this brilliant plan?
I did, General.
Ну, то только
I
бежать
am
теперь.
like hell, General.
Ну, я хорош, как всегда.
Will our intrepid yet doomed hero survive the jaws of the ferocious dinosaur? Will he meet his end miles underground as an aperitif for a ravenous raptor? What dark secrets could be buried in the lost city of Agatha? Will the general ever discover the location of his lost bomb? All of these questions and more
На
will
все
be
эти вопросы,
answered
не
in
только
the
на них,
next
будут даны ответы в
exciting
следующем
episode
эпизоде
of
игры. Прекрасно.
Little Orpheus!
Теперь доступен режим утерянной записи. Вернитесь к приключениям Ивана, узнайте о новых сферах, разбросанных по всему миру, позволяющих открыть эксклюзивный закулисный контент, уморительные наряды. Я 0 из 9 собрал. Девять эпизодов. 9 эпизодов, да? Порабощение менковов? Что это такое?
What luck! What a miracle! One moment I was rushing into the fetid tonsils of that horrible monster. The next, I was plummeting downwards to the jungle floor beyond its reach.
А что там по парашюту?
I prayed I would land on something soft,
Perhaps your head.
but nothing could have prepared me for what was about to unfold. An epic saga of pride, power, and revolution. A struggle for freedom, the likes of which our world has never seen. And it happened like this.
То есть с такой высоты он упал, ему ничего не было. 3 раза об бревно. Плашмей. Тут инопланетяне какие-то.
Who were those strange, gentle monsters who towered above me? I could only guess. They
Ну, это,
were the
походу, есть
lost
эти мелкие.
tribe of the Melf, an earlier race of people. But why were they so fearful of those ancient gates that lay just beyond their village? And why did they seem to recognize me? Why?
Yes, I'm also wondering why.
Ну а как же, генерал? Who was I to question such things? Trapped as I was deep underground. I was more curious, I must admit, about the location of Little Orpheus.
Сразу арят, пошли.
You talk of a great city, a mighty
Не
power,
спросивши, не
yet your
поинтересовавшись.
myth squatted like
Просто арят, пойдем.
savages in huts at its boundary.
They did. And the answer to that mystery lay beyond my grasp at that point. Because it was a wonder, it truly was.
The lost city of Agartha. I hope I may one day see it myself.
Oh, General, if only you could. Unfortunately, as I shall explain, should you seek Agartha now, you wouldn't find it. It has been utterly destroyed.
Utterly destroyed?
Utterly, General, a tragic loss.
A convenient.
Подожди, так что-то теперь я
Imagine
полностью разошелся
archaeologists
во
weeping
мнениях.
as I tell you.
Сначала мы искали
But most
ядерную
importantly,
бомбу, а теперь мы
before we
ищем уже
continue,
затерянный город.
you must
А как
understand
так?
one crucial fact about its destruction.
Which is?
It wasn't my fault.
Да проходи. А чё не все в клетках сидят? Во, пусть идет освобождает остальных. О, как. Эффектно.
Those poor unfortunate Menkf, trapped and kidnapped and dragged away, only to return as vicious foot soldiers to some
Свирепых
unknown
пехотинцев
tyrant.
какого-то тирана.
And yet, there was something familiar about the shtukovina they were forced to wear on their heads, which I was sure were being used to control and enslave them.
And what was that?
General, it curiously resembled the radio sets I used to tinker with as a child.
Radio sets.
It was very curious.
It was very curious.
It was extremely curious.
An ancient technological metropolis, powered by a glowing resin carved from the very earth?
A glowing resin carved from the very earth. Do you see, General?
I fear you are about to enlighten me.
Little Orpheus must have been drained by the impact, but whoever had stolen it and brought it here was no doubt planning to use the Agarthan resin to charge up the atomic bomb, restoring the device to its full potential. What sort of man would come up with such a monstrously reckless scheme?
Perhaps the type of man who has such limited understanding of atomic energy that he thinks an ancient metropolis can be powered by shiny marbles. I am curious, Ivan Ivanovich. You talk and talk about this great subterranean city. Yet what you describe sounds strangely familiar. It does in some way bear an uncanny resemblance to the glorious architecture of Comrade Alexei Dushkin. Wouldn't you agree?
Да нет, генерал. I have never heard of this great товарищ Dushkin or his works.
Interesting. Because you were photographed on the steps of his marvelous Vysotka na Krasnich Varotach, shaking hands with the Glavny constructor.
That was the chief designer? The sweaty little fat man with the bad hearing?
Mind your mouth, Ivan Ivanovich. And don't think you can distract me by slandering one of the great visionaries of our time. Without him, neither of us would be sitting here now.
Must remember to thank him for that, General. Those enslaved mink were trying to stop me. I was sure of that now.
I find myself sympathizing with them, I must admit.
No, General, then I have failed to win you over.
A point of agreement at last.